Mm. Since I saw you were muted, I figured I just waved.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. How was your Thanksgiving?
Very nice. Thank you. How about you?
Good, good. We went to visit in-laws in upstate New York.
Whoa. How far up?
Just above the Albany area, so not too far up.
Oh, because it's my old stomping grounds. I
Oh,
went to
really?
RPI.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Oh, Troy, you know?
Yep, yep. My wife grew up in Ravenna, New York.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And and we were actually we were we in Troy? We were right next to Troy where we actually visited with in-laws. So, yep.
Oh, that's trying to think what's just, well, Cohoes is just north of it. There's Watervliet across the river. I'm trying to remember what
Yeah.
the other towns were.
Latham.
Oh, Latham Circle.
Yep, we were in Latham.
Yeah, it was a good bar over on Latham Circle, I remember. Dating
Jane, how are
myself.
you?
You drink when you were
Good.
18 when I was in college. So, Jane, do you have a big crew?
No, just when my boys were in high school and some of them were playing football, we kind of started together with the relatives, and we just kind of all do our own thing,
Hmm,
which my guys are very happy with. That way, we can stay dressed very casual and watch
right.
football, and you know, don't have to worry about anything. So it was nice. And then my son Zach, that's stationed in Hawaii, he'll be home for Christmas, but
Oh,
we
wow.
missed having him.
Cool. Good for him.
He misses it here, though. He misses it, but it's not a bad place to be. If you have to be somewhere, that's not a bad place to be.
Yeah, I've heard. I mean, I've never been there. My brother
Oh,
was stationed there for a short time, and he said it's really nice. Expensive, but he says it's very nice.
yeah, yeah, I agree. Yep. One of my brothers had been stationed there as well, many, many moons ago. And my husband and I had visited him. We got married on a honeymoon. So
Huh.
that's when we went out there. And I had said to my husband, remind me if I ever say, let's go back to Hawaii, how much I hated the flight. So it takes a long time to get there. Things have gotten a little better because there are more direct flights. Not really direct, but you don't have to do the day layover in California or anything.
Oh, yeah, that's what's
Jeff,
okay.
Jeff, how
Oop,
are you?
you're muted.
You
There's Diane.
muted, Jeff. You're on mute, Jeff.
David, how are you?
Doing well.
How's that? Better? A little better?
Yes. Yep.
Yep, there we go.
Good, good.
Jenny and Diane. Oh, wow.
Evening, Jenny.
Wow. 7 out of 9. Oof, impressive.
Hi, sorry I was late.
Oh, that's okay. Don't worry
I
about
thought
it.
you had a meeting, Diane.
What's that?
I thought you had a meeting.
I do. What do you mean?
Oh. I thought you weren't going to make this one.
Oh, no, no, no. It was the last one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the last one I had a con call at
Gotcha.
8 o'clock. Yeah.
Me
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
It's the joy of actually working for a company owned by the Japanese.
Yeah. Yeah. Or on the West Coast, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So, all right, I like to make a motion to open the meeting. We have quorum with 7 people here. You need a second?
Second.
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 All in favor?
I
I
Uh,
Hi.
Okay, that sounds unanimous. Meeting is opened at 7:35. Thank you all for coming. So, looking at my agenda here. My lamps aren't well positioned for 60-something-year-old eyes.
Yeah.
That's why I wear glasses.
I know. So I'll start with number 3 because Sean sent me an update from the land scoring subcommittee. So we'll start with that one since you guys have some news for us.
Sure. So and I saw it came in. I haven't had a chance to download it, but I believe Diane, you just sent me actually 85 Green Street as
I
well.
did, yeah.
So that would actually say that we have successfully completed reevaluating all of the original properties
Oh,
using the updated forms.
excellent.
So, um, so the last four that had not been that we had not reviewed and approved are all the others had been approved are 1445 West Street, 315 Spring Street, 395 Burnt Swamp, and 85 Green Street. And so all of those have that would now close us out. And our next step would be, well, I guess for you guys to vote to say that we would accept um, our recommendation that those be approved, and and then um, then I think our next step is to try to figure out how do we add more properties. I tried one thing over the weekend that I can cover, but I didn't get to run it down to anything worthwhile. So, but how do we want to move forward with the four properties that we're proposing we approve?
Okay, so did everybody get the summary, the scoring summary?
Yes.
I, hmm,
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
don't know if I got it.
I responded to your email today, Alan, so everyone should have gotten it if you
Oh,
emailed
okay.
everybody.
so so basically that you had the four scores there, and basically it's we're using the same tool. So
Yep. Using the updated tool that we had kind of finalized before. Um, and in a number of cases, kind of all three of us kind of double checked certain properties to kind of make sure we're all doing it right. So I think we've kind of got ourselves down
Yeah.
into a pattern. Um,
okay,
and
so well we have a good baseline now, and we know that they're all exactly. I mean, they're scored with exactly the same objective criteria.
Yep, exactly.
So, um, so did did everyone have a chance to even look at that, or
I
maybe
I don't see it. Where would I find it?
email?
I'm looking under, I usually search everything under Alan Selling.
Oh, it would have been from Sean.
Oh, okay. That's why I'm not finding it. So,
He did it looks like he did a reply all to my message.
Yep.
okay, I see it. Thank you.
So, um, well, actually, if you got it, or do you want to try to put it up on the board, Sean? Or
Sure.
let me see. I think I have to make you the host, though. Hang on. Um, okay, you're a host now.
Yeah, hold on, give me a minute.
Yeah.
I have to admit, Gmail is good for a whole lot of things, and then there's certain things that it's just not.
Yeah.
And I'm struggling with I'm trying to actually get to I'm trying to get to the 85 the one that you just sent me right before this meeting.
Oh, yeah.
85
Yep.
Green Street.
I just did that one, so if you need me to send it again, I can.
No, just give me a minute. I'm sorry, guys.
Mhm.
I'm real time, real time making some updates. Uh,
Alan,
Yes,
while he's doing that, just to
sure.
bring me up to speed, because this is my first time really looking at all this and trying to make some sense out of what you're doing. So I'm looking at the property assessment status sheet that was sent last
Right.
updated to date, and it's in three sections. There's a blue section, there's a green section, and then there's the latest ad of
yep.
85 Green Street.
Yeah.
How's
So
all,
the
how's this?
so the blue is everything
Approved.
that's been reviewed by the subcommittee and approved by the overall committee. So those are the scores.
So the core score is based upon some,
The core
uh,
score is based on 6 criteria, 10 points each. Um, Size, watershed, uh, contiguous with existing open space, on a major road, shape factor. Am I missing one?
Um, and then
And
the
then we have
biomass, and then the
and then we have
biomass score.
biomass, right?
Yep.
Those
Yeah.
are the
So
total of 7 actually criteria. The
7. Okay.
original 6, and then we have the map criteria.
And that's on a scale of what to what on the biomass?
Is that 10?
Or
That's 10, right?
I believe we did everything out of 10. Yep.
out of 10? Okay.
So the total would be out of 70. The
Yep. Gotcha.
And decided to keep we decided to actually kind of basically have two scores. We had the main score. So you'll actually see there's two scores, right? Core score and then biomass score, and we kept them separate. The reason
Yep.
we originally kept them separate was because when we kind of started redoing it, we had we weren't actually planning to redo all of them. And so we were like, we didn't want to corrupt the first one. So we were starting to go back through the first ones and just add a biomass. So we kept them separate. In the end, David, Diane, and I actually have gone through all of them and reassessed all of them. And so technically we could have combined the scores, but that actually only just occurred to me. So we're still not going to combine the scores. And so I'm going to have the two scores. But at least they're all consistent.
Good.
And we use two tools that actually David brought to us. One is called Mass Mapper, which uses GIS data from Massachusetts. So Mass actually has done a nice job providing that tool. I can tell you, I'm sitting in a house right now in Maine, and they do not have the same tool. And Biomap, which is also a tool that was actually set up. And so um, the I'm happy to actually send to you, Jeff. There's a tool there's kind of a template tool that we use. In it, it kind of provides guidance on which not only kind of which tool to use, but which layers to turn on. So you can like turn on like, show me all the open space and it will color those in. Turn that off, show me all of the rare species, turn that on, it will actually color that. And so we can look at a property and see kind of what shows up and then provide an assessment. And then in the tool, we've actually set it up to um, have it where, and I guess I should just share my bloody screen, which is what Alan wanted me to do in the first place. Um, but we can within the tool, we can uh, it's actually just pull downs. So it's not even you sit there, you just type in the acreage, you type in the various pieces of information. Can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Right? You know, so for a given property, if we kind of pick on, let's say, 2095 West Street, you type in the acreage, the width, the length, that gives you the shape score. There's a set of watersheds you can pick from, and each one has a score that the committee had agreed on originally. So you just pick it, like Blackthorn, and it will just give you the number. Um,
Yep.
Water resource is one of the assessments. then access to the property, and then there's calculations that end up being done, and we end up getting our core total score. And then there's two biomass questions that we answer, and it gives you the biomass score. So at
So,
this,
so the two scores, the core score and the biomass are like a composite scoring of all
yes,
those other factors that you put
yep,
in there?
exactly.
Gotcha.
The core score is what was kind of along the lines of what the committee had originally come up with prior to my existence, and then David guided us into also adding the biomass score, which looks at kind of specific elements around the around well, actually, David, you probably best can tell what it's around.
Yeah, it's based on the ecological value. You know, is there high biodiversity, things that might be unique, rare, and common to
Right.
Massachusetts, our town, and just gives a more informed view of what the environmental landscape looks like.
Yeah.
Right. And it lets us look at it either at a local level, a regional level, um or a is it a state level?
Yep, state, local, and
Yep.
regional.
Regional, right. And then we basically give a score based on whether it's within the property or it's adjacent to the property. There's like two scores related to that. So at this point, what we now have, because Diane knocked off 85 Green Street after I sent out my update, which is awesome. We now have all of them done. These blue ones were already pre-approved, and these green ones are the ones that we're proposing to finalize tonight.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, Sean, I think one thing that's important to note is people might gravitate towards what is the top score or top percentage. And each property is ranked or evaluated based on the set of criteria. And so yes, you can look at the highest score as a starting point, but it may not be the full story. So if we do have an opportunity in the future at any of these properties or more, it'd be good for the community to like review the actual score and see if anything has changed since the last time it was evaluated, just so we can make the best informed decision possible, whatever that might look like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and all since I'm kind of novice at using both of those, the Mass Mapper and Biomap, it's a good thing to have someone else look at it because you guys catch like a little thing here and there that I missed. So I did the best I could. So hopefully you guys will have time to review
Yep.
and catch something that I missed.
Right. And we actually looked at, I think we all double checked these two.
Yeah, I think the top three, actually, all three
Yeah.
of us, I
Right.
did, you checked. It's just 85 Green Street.
Right.
Okay. So I guess I would make a motion that we vote to accept all four of these scores and add them to the completed pile, as we call it. And then we can work on getting them put up on the town website so that the rest of the world can see them.
If we
I
do that,
second
then
that.
there's a change. How does that work? So if Dave and Sean go in to 85 Green Street later tonight and they look at my scores and then redo a couple, and then there's like 4, 3, or 2 more points that we could have on there, can we easily correct that if it's posted up?
Well, I don't think we've posted anything on the town website, have we, Sean?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
So,
Okay,
so
so we can make edits then.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
and I think as long as you told after we, if we approve them all tonight, and then you have to make an edit, and you just send it around to everybody, and we
Okay.
can either reapprove it the next meeting or just let it go. That's,
Okay, that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And
works.
even when we've adjusted things, they've generally just changed a few points. It's not like
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
usually dramatic.
And I mean, but it's just to give us a more objective picture at these properties.
Right.
So, one thing I was just thinking of, and I don't know, Daryl, should we include scores of our existing open space slash conservation areas that the town already owns?
Might be
Idea.
interesting.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, that is a cool idea.
Yep.
I
Do we
mean,
have, is that an easy list to?
yeah, well, I mean, we know what those are, and we could just run them through the tool.
Yeah.
It'd certainly
Yeah.
be an interesting set of data
Yeah.
because you got, I mean, you got Joe's Rock, you got what you call it, the farm out there, and the you got Wallamalapog, and you
Oh,
have several
Birchwell.
others.
Yeah, Birchwell, Wallamonapog,
Quite a
Copper
few.
Pond. Yeah, all of them.
So I would imagine, they would score pretty well, and it'd be an interesting exercise for us to understand.
Yeah. Well,
That's
that's
a great one.
something too is I don't know if we should look at in the future is in the past and Jeff kind of goes to your question. One of the underpinnings of the scoring system was that we were primarily at that time before we put the biomap stuff in there was looking at the drinking water potential and we therefore as you look at the scoring you'll see that anything in the Blackstone River watershed which we didn't have a well in although we still don't now but we're working on it but that got scored pretty low because no drinking water except for private wells came out of that watershed. But now with the new well in the future, it's something maybe we need to look at.
I have a question, and for these properties that we're looking at today, are they, how are those properties selected? Are they properties that may become available for conservation in the near future, or?
These are all, I believe the original list we went from, these were all chapter 61 properties that at the town had right of first refusal on. And those were the ones we focused on first, because those would be ones that we would actually have a level of control, if they ever went up on the market. So that was our first priority, was to do all the chapter 61 properties.
Makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah, I was
So-
going to ask the exact same question, Jenny, because that all happened before I showed up. So it's like, how
Yeah.
exactly did we end up with this list? Because it kind of at the next thought that we had, I think we were chewing on is like, all right, well, like where next? So certainly assessing the ones that are already within our possession is a great one. I was also saying that they check the tool a little bit. But then the a thought I'd had, and it may not, this is one I couldn't run to ground, was, on Mass Mapper, you can turn on like open space and then just literally go through and identify all of the properties that are attached in some form to existing open space,
Wow.
whatever form that is, right? So that ends up creating a really big list, right? Of properties that are out there that are attached to open space. So that was one thought that I had of like, well, how do we go after the next one? Well, let's just pick ones that are already continuous with existing open space.
That's a big one. Just given what we saw in terms of getting money for 2095, I mean, that's probably one of the biggest reasons why we got the DCR money. And, I'll bet you that paid a part in Pawtucket Water Supply giving us that money too. That they looked at a map and said, okay, it's where it flows. So that would be a valuable, that would be an interesting analysis, because otherwise we're going back to Heather and getting lists of open parcels of land and trying to parse them down. And the list is difficult to work through. It comes as a spreadsheet, and you go through this thing, and some of them are listed as big plots, 20 acres, and others are 22-acre lots,
Right.
with separate addresses. So, you got to do a lot of, manipulating and studying to figure out what you're looking at. So, but
Yeah,
What do
so
the
that's
what do the notes mean on the 175 Ellery Street property? It says removed, and then there's tie into Pawtucket Water and some other notes there. That's one
yeah,
you've
it's
already
already
approved.
I think it's because it's already protected because that's protected by
Talk of
It's like
water
a
supply.
yeah,
supply.
protected
Yeah.
it's a protected water supply, so it's already kind of we don't need to do anything with it.
Okay,
They
So
own
it's
it.
But we did
gotcha.
put notes in several of the evaluations, not that it was necessarily a scored comment, just more notes to the file, things that might be relevant when the time comes. And I do think to the earlier point about looking at parcels that are adjacent, that are either currently owned or adjacent to open space can be helpful for things like grants, even grants on our own properties. If we can make a compelling argument why, say, we should get a trails grant, for example, right? If we did and it lines up and it might score high because it accesses open space, as an example. What would be really interesting is, and this is maybe a bigger question, is obviously big parcels adjacent to open space are just kind of like the traditional fit. But it makes you wonder, are there smaller parcels that provide strategic access that might actually rise to the level because it provides accessibility to a parcel that otherwise doesn't have it? And
right,
that might be harder to screen for, but it makes you wonder too. You might have other circumstances that might be relevant in the future.
right.
Yeah,
Which
because if you think about the one that just went through the White Barn Farm, that opened up access big time.
Yep.
That parcel that the town just agreed to preserve. I'll use that term.
right. The Yeah, so maybe I don't know, maybe what we do, David and Diane, is we kind of like I'm not quite sure exactly how we carve up Wrentham, but we somehow like carve up the fact of each one of us focuses on a given area, and just kind of identify the plots. Because in certain cases, right, what you've got is a nice swath of open space, and you've got like 7 parcels that are attached to it. They're all small, right,
Right.
but they're all touching it. Right. And so each one of those should get it. Then you actually have, like you said, David, some big ones that are touching it. So, but that's just a thought on how we can kind of move to the next level. And in the end, kind of assess pretty much all the parcels of interest that we've got in the town. So
I mean, there's still some nice. There's 2 Chapter 61 properties just down from 2095, right across the street from you, Diane, right? The 2661 and 2663. That, and I think they're both farms, right?
I believe so, yeah.
so
But
are
we've
there
we've scored them. We've already scored those. I believe they're
Um,
both in there.
I think so. One's Dunvegan.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was scored, was it?
I remember it being on the original lists.
Okay.
Is it on there? 2661?
Yes, it was. Actually, we used
Was it?
it as an example in front of the CPC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
um
Dunvegan.
which
That's
which street are we on?
West. That's
West.
West.
West Street.
So we have 2663 West Street and we 2095. We we
Thought we
do
had 2661 because that
we
was
do
next
we
door.
we
Unless
do
I'm getting my
not.
numbers
Is
mixed.
Nope.
2661 the one that has the one house, the 60 acres that
Oh, yeah,
got
the
bought?
old Askin property.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we
is that 2661?
we
No.
we do not have a 2661 on our list. We have a 2663.
Oh, is
Okay.
that the one that was Larry Johnson's farm, Dunvegan?
Yes, Larry's.
That's what's Larry. And he moved to Maine.
I believe so. Yeah, and from what I heard, the people who own the house on the end of that street bought that
Oh,
farm. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not.
okay.
Is there a latest copy of the Chapter 61 properties?
I can give Heather a call, or Daryl, can you ask her to
Sure,
get it?
I'll ask tomorrow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be seeing her tomorrow.
So maybe the first thing we do, well, so two things we've kind of agreed to do. So one, we'll review the Chapter 61 properties against what we've scored, and if there are any that we haven't scored, we'll score those. And then we'll score the existing open space um,
Conservation.
land, right? So does someone have that list?
All the conservation properties?
I'm
Yeah.
working on that. Yes, we do have a list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the, like for instance, Crocker Pond that Diane mentioned. That actually consists now of about like 7 or 8 different properties that have been kind of all conglomerated. So do we do each one of those properties, or do you just take them as a unit and say, you know,
I'd say if they're conglomerated now into one, we would do just one altogether because
oh,
we have an example of that. We have one where it's two properties that we assessed together.
okay,
So I just
all right.
say let's just
Well,
combine them and say this is what it added up to.
give
So
me a little time and I will get you a list.
you
And
got it.
and I'm in favor of let's not evaluate 7 properties that really aren't 7 properties. If they're all
Hmm,
conserved,
yeah,
let's take it easy on ourselves. Let's just do one if we can get away with it.
okay. Uh,
So, okay, so back to my motion that went into discussion. So I make a motion that we approve all 4 of these properties as done, for lack of a
second.
better term. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I
Awesome.
Okay, so that's approved. And we haven't made any progress on loading these on the website, or is there a way that we can just
We
talk
have
to the assistant town manager there?
Greg,
Yeah,
yeah, Greg Enos. Yeah.
yeah,
okay.
I
because
think Rachel's been doing a lot of that work as well. I could talk to her
yeah,
about it.
because it doesn't really matter. I mean, it doesn't have to be an interactive tool that's on there that somebody can fiddle with. It could just be the sheet, with the scores.
Right. Right.
And I
Mhm.
mean, that's pretty benign.
Yep.
It's just
Maybe.
information.
Right. Do we kind of provide just kind of the different things we'd assessed against, not the individual scores, but like assessed against like you said, shape, this type of stuff. I could write up a little blurb and then we just have this is what, the things that make up core score,
Mhm.
overall property shape, which is acreage, these types of, but not get in exactly that, this watershed gets more points than that watershed, but at least say that we
Right.
score on watershed, that type of thing. Um,
I guess maybe if we just broke it out into the individual scores that they got,
yep.
and just, the simplified version of the
Yep.
big form.
Yep. So how about I'll take an action to try to kind of to create that kind of simplified view with a little blurb at the top. I can send it out for us to approve to say that's what we want to go up in the site, and then
Mhm.
we can make that happen.
Okay, that sounds great.
And Sean, we should probably have some type of introduction to
Yeah.
explain like why we're doing it and what does it actually mean or doesn't mean, and obviously the scores that then follow.
Yep. That's a good point.
I'm just wondering, playing devil's advocate here, can we put it on the website if it's owned by private, you know, private individuals? Is that appropriate for us to
Yeah,
look them up?
I've gotten in trouble for that before, and you're right. It's
Yeah.
probably better to just do map block lot and just leave it. Or I guess I wouldn't even go as far as address. Maybe just
Yeah.
block lot, and that way, if you want to track it down and find it, because I mean, you go on everyone can get onto the GIS site, and you can see everybody's name that way. But that it's a handy tool.
Yeah.
I
I
know.
just, I think we have to protect people's privacy as far as like the
Mhm.
exact address or the name of the property owner.
Right. We should. I did that on one of the open space and recreation plans, like back in 2000 or something, and Mr. Snow got a little animated over me um, putting down, calling it the Snow property. Uh,
Yeah, we had. Yeah, because they didn't really yell too much at you and I when we were doing the acquisition fund presentations because we had the list with the addresses, but we
yeah.
just had the addresses. And I think we had the acreage and the scoring. That's about all we had.
Yeah.
But
Well, I
but
can.
people didn't know, you know, when they nobody knows what the address of the Big Apple is. Because people would say, "Oh, what's that one there? 186 acres." I said, "Oh, that's the Big Apple." They're like, "Oh, we didn't know that." People. So
Hmm.
people are more ignorant than I think you realize.
And I think keeping it to something agnostic like a
Yeah,
lot number, it's regardless of ownership. It's just saying this is the parcel that exists now. If
right.
it exists 500 years from now, could change hands 12 times in between, but this is what we know.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, that's perfect.
That's a good idea.
Okay. So um, with that, I will also suggest that I modify the tool so that it actually requires us to put in that information from the get-go. Um, and
Oh, right. Yeah,
so it won't adjust the score or anything, but at least up where it has the address line, I'll actually add in an entry that says you actually have to put in the lot information. Um, so I'll make those modifications so that we can easily do this, so that we don't
yeah.
have to so that whenever we do future ones, we don't again end up with a list of properties where we have to go all the way back again and go through them. So I'll go through the 20 properties and add in their lots, and I'll update the tool so it's got it built in. So
Okay. Of course, you'll have the fancy decoder ring version that has the addresses, so
yes,
we can.
we all will. Actually, if we
Yes,
could ever get the town to let us have a cloud system, we'd all
right.
have. So
I guess they're afraid we're going to break their computers,
yes.
which we might, but that's too bad.
I did, by the way, try to use AI to
Yeah.
see if it could use the GIS data to just do this for us. But I wasn't able to at least make I wasn't able to make it work. So I will play around with that again as well, right? Because if it's
Hmm.
public data, I'd love to get it to the point where literally actually AI could just run through and assess every single property and rent them. But it couldn't actually act for some reason it couldn't actually access at that level. I'm not quite sure why. But
Hmm. Hmm. Guess it's not there. So,
but at some
okay.
point, at some point, I'm sure we'll be able
Okay.
to do it. And then all we'll have to do is ask AI what property should we buy, and it will tell us. So
Yeah. So, okay. So we've approved the four properties
cool.
and we'll figure out how they go on the website.
Yep.
And, and then the next step, I guess the subcommittee would take as an action item is uh, to see if you can use that biomap overlay to find the contiguous properties. And Daryl's going to work with Heather or Rachel to get a new Chapter 61 list. So we'll have
Yep.
some more things to look at.
Yep. And Daryl's also going to get me the list of existing open space properties that we have in our possession. Um,
Okay.
and I'll create the summary blurb and by lot information for the scores.
Okay, great. Wow. Oh, okay. All right.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
And that's about when it's going to happen, by the way. It'll be part of my Christmas holiday.
Yes. Okay. So, I guess I'll go back to number one, which was to discuss possible educational events, and which reminds me, I have to do the sweat application for that. I think we still have quite a bit of money, so, and I know we've had lots of ideas about things we could do, uh, but we just have to pick a few and then spend more money because we still have all this money that they rolled over last year's money, so we have 15. We still have 1,500 left, which is more than they used to give us. So we can't seem to spend it fast enough, even though we've had. I counted it. We have 5 or 6 events we've had in the last year or so. So, we're trying. So, does anybody have any hot buttons? I know Lauren was working on some of this, but do we have
What is
any
on the list?
other ideas? What's that?
What's on the list now?
I don't have a list, actually. I had one
Um,
before. I know invasive plants was, but I think we had one of those last year, but we could have another one. I know that was okay. Okay, here's the list I had from 2 meetings ago. Adult audience, invasives, family, turtles from the rescue people
Yep.
back to the wild, bird boxes, and bugs. Under family, we had orienteering and animal tracking.
oh, those are all really good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, those actually are. Yeah, those are.
Why don't we just pick, I mean, a few to do we know how much it costs for each thing roughly?
I think the invasives. I think we did one through. I think Mass. Was it Rhode Island Audubon? May have been. I think it was on. It was like $250 for them to come in and do it at the library. So that's and I know the lady who did Back to the Wild. She did 2 of those. Those were $200, and that's a donation because it's a nonprofit. So
Oh, right.
the town gives them a $200
Yeah.
donation.
Did we ever reapproach that one that Maria Jamides brought to the board about committee about the beavers?
I have that list. I had beavers. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, it was some organization out west. I vaguely remember it, but that would probably be an interesting one and something we haven't done.
No, and that's appropriate with Walla Malapog because we know they're there.
Yep. And
Yes.
and I can tell you there's one in Trout Pond, and there's evidence if you walk around it, he has done a very, very good job of taking
Awesome.
down trees. I've got pictures.
Nice. Yeah, they're at Joe's Rock now too.
So
There's
cool.
a nice
Really?
big
Well, if you can get
huge den in the middle of the pond.
That's awesome. It was my school mascot, so I like beavers.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So if you can get that whoever the outfit is from Maria.
I'll find out the information on that. I think it'd be a good one. So I'll take that as an action item, and I'll find out who she suggested we talk to and all that.
Because that would be that would be a big audience. People would be.
I would think so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a great one. Okay.
Okay, I'll work on that one.
Okay.
Do we have to use the money by a specific amount of time, or does it matter if we run into like mid next year for it?
They told us we're supposed to spend it, and then they sort of go, "Oh, you still have the money. Just keep spending it as long as
Okay.
we
Oh,
spend." But
Okay. But
hopefully,
should we make a cap, like say we want to use at least half of that by half of the year kind of thing?
well,
So that,
yeah, I think if we did another Back to the Wild one, that would be 200.
yeah,
I know the
95
Rhode
minutes.
Island Audubon stuff runs 250 to 400. They have all different programs, so
yeah.
we have some flexibility. I mean, if we did three things, I think we would make a little dent in the money, but
Did you
not,
guys get a good showing? I think I was away when they did that invasives one last year. Did you get a lot of people to that? Do you know?
I didn't go to it, but
Yeah, I wasn't here.
yeah, and I was away, but that I understood they were pretty well attended.
Yeah, and I think when I brought that one up the last time, it was thinking that we could change it up to do one specific invasive. I don't know if that would be enough material, um, or maybe take one or two of them instead of covering like a huge swath of them, um, just as maybe to way to change it up. But there's plenty of others on that list that we don't have to do that one.
Yeah, yeah. Those, all right.
Um,
So,
Also, if we do an invasive workshop or something, I think it would also be a good idea to have a brochure or pamphlet or something that we can put on the website so that people that may not be there can still get the information.
Yeah, there actually
Maybe-
is one.
Yeah,
Conservation did one. I don't know how long ago was that, Daryl.
yeah,
Two members of the Conservation Commission put a whole booklet together, and we have like 600 of them left, I think, right, Daryl? Like
yeah,
600 of them. Yeah.
quite a few.
So,
Yeah,
yeah, so that was
and
one
it
of the
should.
things we're saying. Do we want to use
It's
those books up,
it's on the website too.
for one of our things? Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the website too. So the
Yeah.
commission's website.
Okay. Maybe there's just there's too many areas to I see now in Spaces Invasive Species Guide 2022.
Yep.
Okay.
and then if you go down to the town hall, I'm sure you could take a box of them with you if you want.
Take the whole box.
Oh, I think insect invasives are kind of rising as a new thing too. So I don't know if we
Oh,
get the
yeah.
Department of
Maybe
Agriculture
that's a nice twist to it.
uh,
To
I'm
do
putting
the
that down
invasive.
here. That's a good one because
Yeah.
all the talk about those giant bees from what were those
oh, the murder
African?
hornets.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Murder
yeah.
hornet. That's right.
Yeah. The lantern fly. And then what's that new oriental something beetle? Longhorn? Asian longhorn?
That one's been around for a while. Worcester
Yeah.
basically they cut down all the trees because of it, but
Yeah.
I worry more about it's not poisonous, but the Joro spider. I just don't like the idea of a spider that big around hanging out. But
Oh my God. I didn't know about that.
yeah,
Really?
yeah. I killed a couple of those lantern
oh, lantern
bugs.
flies. Maybe
Yeah,
they'll
Yeah.
catch lantern flies.
They're everywhere too. They're
yeah.
everywhere.
Oh
They're
well,
hard to kill. They're hard to get. They're really
Yeah.
quick.
I mean, they're so bad. I was at the gas station and there was a couple of them on my windshield. I had my husband get out of the car and kill them.
Well,
I
I know
wouldn't.
that MDAR was in town doing some of the early detection work, and so Mass Department of Ag resources. I suspect the town probably has a point of contact there because of that survey work. Maybe they have an extension that can do a presentation on it, especially going into next year where people are going to be seeing them flying around a lot more during the summer and
Yeah.
fall. So that might be
So
a good one.
that's a study through the town hall.
Well, no, when they first got reported, I believe MDAR came down to Wrentham and other towns that were experiencing the call it outbreak or early detections. I'm pretty sure there was a posted on one of the town Facebook or website talked about, hey, MDAR is going to be looking at this,
Oh.
that kind of a thing. So the point is, I'm sure there's someone that knows someone there who can probably finance the right person to do some outreach,
Okay.
yeah, the
especially
webs
going into the next season.
Yeah, the website has a tracker thing where they show where they've been
Oh,
seen.
okay. So maybe one of us can look into that as well.
And then,
MDAR.
Alan, I know you mentioned bird boxes on the list. I wonder also about bat boxes.
Oh,
Oh,
that'd be awesome.
a good one.
Hmm.
Either like a workshop to tell people about how to build and install them in their own homes, or maybe like a program where we can have volunteers come together and build some or buy some and install them like around town buildings or open spaces that might be good candidates for bat boxes.
Yeah, Birchwold has some. I just replaced a bunch of them for a stewardship project recently at Birchwold. So there's 4 boxes, bat boxes up on the 121 side of Birchwold.
If we do bat and bird boxes, April 17th is Bat Appreciation Day. So
Oh,
in and
that's fun.
around April 17th might be a good time. And it gives us enough runway to plan it, promote it, figure out where we're gonna get supplies, and we can do all
Yeah,
that stuff. So
that'd be a fun one.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we could make it, people could build them themselves and go out and help install them or something like that
Yeah.
in our, maybe in some of our new conservation areas.
Yep.
does anyone know if like KP has a wood shop? I didn't go there for high school. So if they do, they could potentially cut the pieces for us, and that way you only have to assemble the day
Well,
of.
Probably
yeah,
Oh,
not.
that's a good
it,
That
idea
but
sounds
try
too.
more like
it,
sounds more like something Tri-County would.
Or
yeah, exactly.
Tri-County,
Right. I was going
whoever.
to say
Yeah.
Tri County definitely. They've
Yeah.
got to. Yep.
KP doesn't have any trades.
Okay.
But Tri County, that's
Okay.
Yeah, that's a
So,
really good idea.
who has the somebody else was working on the list, right?
Yeah, Lauren was working on the list, but I had a list here that I had taken during the meeting.
Okay, so she hasn't made any calls or anything that we would be overdoing what she's already done, kind of thing.
I think she has a list, and I think she's probably just waiting for a chance to, put the list out for everybody to look.
Okay.
Because I think she was following up on some of the specific outfits that,
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
I remember her
she
talking.
worked both Rhode Island and Mass Audubon, so those were
Mm,
two key contacts we were using, and
okay.
that
She
made
was
it.
So
also
if I
talking
get the
about.
information on beavers, should I send it to her or should I send it to you?
I sent it to everybody.
Everybody. Okay. Got it.
Let everybody, yeah. And
I
if
remember
anybody,
she was working on something with orienteering with the scouts.
yes, I had that here, Boy Scouts orienteering, which is, yeah, that's what they do. They usually get lost though, because they're 11. So, okay, all right. Um, Second item I had here was, do we need to revise the goals for the other subcommittee that was working on the open space and recreation plan, which I think we talked about last meeting where we were, or do we sort of repurpose that subcommittee? Because we have 5 years of runway now.
Ah,
Because I know, Darryl, you'd suggested that some of the other, well, we've redone the goals and the accomplishments, the chapter 9, but
Section 9, yeah, we updated them. I mean, we
yeah,
didn't really add any new ones. I think we took away a couple
yeah,
that were complete, but otherwise we just simply basically we might have in some places moved a couple of the things around of who's responsible, but otherwise we just push dates.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that
So,
should also, Rachel is going to put that on the website too, so that way it's not lost. Too many of these reports go to sit on a shelf and gather
right.
dust.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. So, but yeah, that was just something I had down here that we, kind of want to keep our eye out for that. And we probably have to go start thinking about in a year or so about finding another consultant or entity to help us submit it
Hmm.
because Gino is retired and you know
It
we'd
seems
have
like most of the work is already done, though. So, not sure you'd really have to hire a consultant for that. Um,
well
I
we had to
haven't
do
read through all 77 pages of it, but I read through a lot of it, and I'm thinking that most of that remains the same.
well then because the way the process worked originally or when you started it is you start out with a survey and then you take the results of the survey and you publish them in a public forum and then that forms the basis of how you set up the goals.
Hmm.
So we had, what did we have, 1,000 responses, Daryl? Do you remember something like that from that?
Can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the report upstairs, but it says how many people responded to the survey, and we got a lot of. I mean, community, 1,000 people. I believe it was just over 1,000 responded. Out of what do we got in this town? 12, 13,000. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And that formed the basis of all of those tables you saw in there. I mean, the history and the physical makeup of the town. Obviously, those things will just transfer through, but all the goals and everything is supposed to be based on the inputs of the survey, what the townspeople want out of the town.
Yeah. But I'm just thinking that, you have an active open space
Mm-hmm.
commission here, and since most of um, the bulk of that 77 pages is are things that aren't going to change. So I'm just
Yeah,
saying I think you have a
yeah,
capable group that I don't know if you necessarily have to hire a consultant at this point, because it seems like the people that put together the original one, which was several of these members. I wasn't on the committee at that point, but I know Daryl did a lot of the work, and the consultant, and there were other people, my
mm-hmm.
predecessor as well, put all that information out there. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know. Daryl
Yeah.
would have a better idea. I don't know if you really have to spend thousands of dollars that we
Mm-hmm.
could use towards different purchases when you have most of the work done already. We're still talking 4 years down the road, but
Right. Yeah. So, well,
Perhaps that is a mission of the working group is to figure out what we can do, what we can't do, and
yeah.
yeah.
relative to any new updates the plan may require
Hmm.
in 5 years, then we might figure out if we need what we exactly need or don't need.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, so what
that's a good
happened is
idea.
we tried to do it ourselves back around
Oh,
2015, 16.
we we started in '07,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So we submitted something to them around
Mhm.
2015 or 16.
Right.
And the comments that came back were longer than our entire thing that we had them review.
Seemed that way.
Yeah.
They
So we
were
said,
extensive.
yeah, it was like, okay, every, every page we wrote, they wrote a page of comments. So that's why we hired Gino.
Yeah, he knew there were a couple things that had to be tweaked a certain way that he knew this how the state liked it. Because yeah, we had comments that were fairly daunting and like not back to the drawing board type, but certainly. And he just polished it up a bit and addressed some sections better.
And he did, I mean, he did a great job when he ran the survey and he interpreted the results for us and put it into nice action items. You remember that? And he ran the forum for
Did
us.
he? Okay.
Yeah.
I would hope so then, because would have meant we would have had an updated survey. Because otherwise, if we did one earlier, it would have been principally
Yeah.
invalid.
Yeah. Yeah, because we didn't do it. I know we didn't do a survey when we submitted the prior one.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah. Okay.
so that's
So I think Dave's suggestion is good. Try
Yeah.
and map out what we should be doing over the next 5 years to get to where we want to go.
okay. And the only other thing I had is sweat fund application, and I was going to work on that. And I'm just going to list some of these other ideas in there, which is usually how we do it, because it's I just want to put a placeholder in for the sweat fund for the educational projects. So they always seem to be willing to give us money or let us keep the money we haven't spent. Because that's what they did last year. So that was nice of them.
Yeah, unusual.
They want you to spend it, which is, like,
Right.
so that's all I had. Does anybody have anything else? Thank you all for coming, by the way. I have an 8 out of 9. I'm impressed.
So I was just looking at the Wrentham Open Space and Recreation Plan report because I hadn't looked at it yet.
Mhm.
And there's a page in there that's a letter from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts
That has to be changed.
that is like, thank you for submitting this plan for Wrentham to this office for review and compliance with open space and recreation plan requirements. They
Mhm.
approved the plan and the town is eligible to apply for DCS grants through December 2027.
Right.
So do
And
we
we
have
have a
to
new,
do anything to extend that beyond 2027?
yeah, we did that was what this subcommittee was actually set up for. So
Okay,
if you
those
go in
goals.
there under section 9, which is all of the charts for the action items and
Yeah.
goals and implementation plans, we had to redo that section. And we have a new letter, which I guess we're going to make sure that gets put on the website.
It's in the section 9 update that Rachel will be putting on there. It's that along with the town manager's approval letter and Melissa Cryan, that was a person at the state. She said, yes, we'll be eligible for grants through 2030. So yeah, good point.
Great.
Yeah, that's the one that we got in 2020.
Yeah, what she's reading. Yeah.
Yeah, the original one.
Okay. Great.
So they basically let us redo one section, and we got another 3 years. And we said, yes, we'll do that.
Let me.
So they did that. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Well, that was a good meeting. I'm really impressed with how we've gotten those all those scores lined up, and we have a nice plan going forward. And I think we're gonna get a good handle on when we have to redo the 2030 plan. We'll be in good shape.
Oh, okay. I was just going to send that report around. I just noticed, Jenny, I don't have your email on here. So if you could just send me, and I can add you to my list, and I'll send that Section 9 update out to everybody.
Actually, you can just reply all to my note from today, Daryl.
Oh, okay.
Got everybody's on it.
Okay, better. All right.
Save you some time.
Thanks.
Thank
Oh,
you.
sure.
Thanks for asking. Good pickup on that. Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to close the meeting if there's any. Need a
Oh.
second?
Second.
All in favor?
I
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Have a great holiday, everybody.
all right.
do.
Have a
You
great one.
also
Oh, that's
take
right.
care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.
All right.
Very good.
Bye.
Bye.